It's June 14th, 2020. It's been pretty rainy here in Seattle and a little chilly. Let's start the update with the lavender. As you can see, I moved the lavender upward, and you can see some bees visiting the lavender flowers. The flowers look like this. I think they're opened. That's why the bees are around. And pine tree is over there. Succulents are doing well. I moved the string of pearls outdoor. Hopefully it will grow better. This is some new growth. And the frizzle sizzle is looking great. The elephant food plant is also good. You can see a lot of new leaves. Here we have the rosemary. I think it's sending out a lot of new growths now. This one too. And here's the hydrangea. You can see this new growth isn't producing flower. Here's the original flowers. Seems like it's still sending out the flowers, slowly though. And then the new growth at the center of the pot. And here we have the artichoke. You can see this one is getting taller and bigger now. And the mints are doing well. I cut this one so it can grow sideways. Here we have the raspberry. You can see a lot of fruits are maturing now. This one is ready for harvest. This one too. And here we have a bunch more berries. These are all ready to harvest. And this branch over here is getting too heavy because of the berries maturing. So I'm just gonna leave it there. And these new cane growth, I don't think they're gonna flower yet. Probably later this season. The raspberries were harvested a few times this week. I'll show you the harvest at the end of the video. Here's the summer snowflake. Look like it has started dying back. The leaves are turning yellow. Hyacinth is pretty much dead. The lacy phacelia is still flowering. Here's the green onion. You can see the seed pods are getting a bit longer, but yeah, those are definitely seed pods. Here's the mulberry. You can see a lot of fruits turning red and purple now. This one is definitely ready for harvest. And here's a few more that we can harvest today. Over here we have a bunch of red ones. Probably not ready today. I harvested the mulberry a few times this week as well, and the harvest will be shown at the end of the video. In that same pot you can see something growing. I think it looks like a maiden hair fern. We'll see. Daffodil is definitely dying back. Grape hyacinth too. The blueberry is doing well. Let's take a closer look at the fruits. They're still getting bigger. They haven't turned blue yet. Over here we have the strawberries. You can see the strawberries are still flowering, and the flowers are a bit more exposed. It's taller than some of the leaves, so hopefully the bees can access them more easily. And in general, the older flowers are all fruiting now. You can see all these strawberries forming underneath the bushes. The harvest I did this week and today will also be shown at the end of the video. The calla lily are coming up very nicely. You can see the leaves are getting a lot taller. There are two types of calla lily in this pot. The first one is this one, leaf without spots, and the second one is this one, the leaves with those white spots. Let's look at the dahlia. It's coming up nicely. I'm not seeing any flower buds yet, too early. And the hydrangea is flowering very nicely. I really like the colors. It's like gradients. Well, this branch is getting too heavy because of the flowers. But yeah, right here you can see it's more like purple flowers forming. This is a little more pink. Those are, I think, more purple. And down here, some purple and pink flowers. The asparagus looks pretty much the same, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Looks like the catnip is gonna flower soon. That's gonna attract a lot of bees too. The grape looks pretty much the same too. Let's take a look at the green grapefruit from last week. Looks like the whole fruit stem is drying up, so the fruits are probably not gonna form. No grapes this year. Can't find the other one. And beside that, here we have some succulents growing. You can see a new plant forming from the side. The rhubarb looks pretty much the same as last week too. And here we have the pineapple. You can see I clean up the leaves a bit, and this new leaf is getting taller for sure. And here we have the lacy phacelia seedlings. Doesn't look like there's any clover seedlings. Let's start with the orchids for the indoor garden. Just gonna take a quick look at all of the orchids. This one over here, you can see that third leaf is coming up nicely. And here we have the small pear plants. And the phalaenopsis is finally doing something. You can see at the center there's a new leaf forming. The snake plant is also sending out a new leaf. I cut one of the mints from outdoor, and as you can see it has rooted in water. I'm gonna plant this back outdoor, and hopefully we can repeat the same process to get more mint plants. Here's the philodendron, and then the pear plant. The hoya plant is growing very actively. You can see here's the one of the new growth. It's getting super long. Look at this. It's super long, but no leaves. And it's also sending out a new growth up here with white leaves. The succulent fern is doing very well. You can see the shield frond on the right is actually getting a lot bigger than the shield frond on the left. Look at that. And that tiny little antler frond is forming too. Looks very good. And over here we have the succulents. I'm going to show you the other side facing the window. As you can see, this side is a bit more red. Here's the dragon tree plant. You can see it's looking a lot healthier. This is the harvest I did on June 10th. Got 2 raspberries. And this is the harvest I did one day later on June 11th. I got 3 raspberries. And I also got a bunch of strawberries. These ones are the ones I'm gonna keep. They're more well-shaped, and there's not really any damage on the fruit itself. I also harvested a bunch of mulberries. a bit small, but there's a lot of them. Let's take a closer look. You can see most of them are a bit shriveled. I harvested them a bit too late, but there's still some that are pretty decent. And this is the harvest I did on the 11th. Got a lot of mulberries. And here we have the harvest on June 14th. The mulberries are looking very nice. Some of them are pretty big actually. Also got a bunch of raspberries. The size are a bit more variable. As for the strawberries, there's a lot of them that I'm not gonna keep. And there's a few like this one that I'm gonna keep. This one is the best I harvested today. This one is not too bad. This is too small. But yeah, I'm gonna keep the one that has the best shape and no damage.